Hey everybody, how's this going? Wired here, and keeping on this trend of slamming Disney, because that seems like all I ever do these days, which really is a shame because I like Disney, which anyone would know if they watch my channel, all the Lilo and Stitch videos I made. I think Lilo and Stitch is an amazing series. My daughter is completely in love with it. But Disney has definitely gone way too woke lately, and there's a huge thing about race baiting, race swapping characters. And this, I just did a video on this with Peter Pan. Now the Lost Boys are the Lost Girls. Now Tinkerbell is black. Peter Pan is not white anymore. And the only issue I have with this is we know this would not work the other way around. It would never ever fly. Disney, people would be slammed as racist, misogynistic, bigoted, whatever you want to call it, if we reverse the races. If Black Panther, for say, happened to be white. That would not be okay. And hey, I totally agree with that. I think you want to make inclusive characters. I'm totally all for that. And I think you should just make different stories. I don't want to believe that Disney is as creatively bankrupt as they claim to be, but it's pretty obvious that they are. As you can see from the trailer here from The Little Mermaid, there is a 1.2 million upvote to 3.5 million downvotes. And I would read you some of the comments, but Disney, to block the criticism of them, have turned all the comments off on this. And I actually stumbled across this really interesting interview from the Hollywood Reporter about actress Halle Bailey, who is playing the new Little Mermaid, and about what she says about all the racist backlash she is receiving for playing this character. So without any further ado, let's get into this, and then I'm going to play you another clip in a minute. So,
Halle Bailey is opening up about the racist backlash she received when news broke that she was cast as Ariel in Disney's live-action adaptation of The Little Mermaid. In a new cover story for The Face, Bailey said some of the negative reactions were not a surprise. As a black person, you just expect it, and it's not really a shock anymore. I know people are like, it's not about race, but now that I'm her, people don't understand that when you're black, there's this whole other community.
I want you to keep that in mind, what she's saying. As a black person, you just expect it. It's not really a shock anymore. I know people are like, it's not about race, but now that I'm her, people don't understand that. Please keep that in mind for a later segment, a later clip I'm going to play in this video.
It's so important for us to see ourselves. She credits mentor Beyonce for offering sound advice to her and sister Chloe Bailey that she continues to lean on. When Chloe and I first signed to Parkwood, B was always like, I never read my comments. Don't ever read the comments. Honestly, when the teaser came out, I was at the D23.
Alright, so right there you're already seeing a contradiction here. If Beyonce gave her the advice to not read her comments and she has not read her comments, then how does she know there's racist backlash towards her playing this character? Maybe she's psychic or something like that. I'm not really sure. But see, that's really confusing to me. How do you know there's backlash if you're not paying any attention to whatever press this piece of media is getting? How can you know that? I'm a little confused, but let's continue.
23 Expo, and I was so happy. I didn't see any of the negativity. When the Hollywood Reporter
didn't see any of the negativity, then how do you know there's negativity? Is it just me? If you're not aware of negativity, how do you know it exists? How do you know it's happening?
Caught up with Bailey last year at the D23 event, she relayed the most magical part of the experience for her.
And the fact that I get to kind of represent all of these little young black and brown boys and girls who are to come is really special to me, because I know that if I had that when I was younger, it would have changed my whole perspective on life.
I want you to keep that in mind too. She's very happy. She's representing little black and brown girls, and this is going to change her entire perspective because she wishes she had that when she was younger. Please keep that in mind for the next video I'm going to play, because this just stinks of hypocrisy. This stinks of wokeness, and I got nothing against anybody being, portrayed in media. I just don't understand why they have to race swap everybody, because we know it would not work the other way. This is all about gender identity, or gender politics, ethnicity, and all that stuff like that. But please keep that in mind.
Bailey also tells the mag that she was flooded with texts from friends and family who were sending her all of the reaction videos on social media after the teaser debuted. The clip showed kids, many of who were young black girls, responding to seeing the footage for the first time. I was crying all night for
Oh, that's good. I would say kudos to her then. She's getting filtered out all the negative comments. She's just seeing the positive comments. Then how does she know there's backlash? I'm sorry. I guess I'm not that intelligent. I'm just a little confused here.
2 days just staring at them in disbelief. It makes me feel more grateful for where I am. For more details on this story, hit to
All right. I want you to all keep that in mind when Halle Bailey. I'm getting her confused with Halle Bailey just said. She just said she doesn't recognize any of the backlash yet. She's known there's backlash. And she's been flooded with positive comments from black and brown girls who are very happy to see themselves represented in The Little Mermaid. Which is a stark contrast to this video right here from Variety, which is an interview with her. Let's get into this.
It's so special to me since I was so small. I mean, it's the reason I would swim. I would be in the pool feeling like I am the animated version of her. And so today, the dream come true of the live action is super cool. So of course I'm gonna choose mine because.
All right, again, so we just heard what she just said here. Let me play that back for people who might. I think I did the clip a little too early. Let's play it back really fast.
Animated version has always been so special to me since I was so small. I mean, it's the reason I would swim. I would be in the pool feeling like I am the animated version of her. And so today, the dream come true of the live action is super cool. So of course I'm gonna choose mine because I'm like, what?
So right now you see this gross level of hypocrisy here. She's saying in one interview that she's very happy to be representative of young black and brown girls so they can see themselves in this, because representation is super important, and you need to see yourself in media to be able to feel like you're a part of that media. And now in this interview with Variety, she's saying that she always imagined herself as the Little Mermaid, even though the Little Mermaid, the original Ariel in the animated version, was white. And yet she pretended that she was her whenever she swam. So, do you understand why I'm a little bit confused here? Like, I don't get this. In one thing, like, everything is just pandering to this woke culture. And like I said, I don't have anything against representation. I don't have a really strong affinity to the Little Mermaid. I didn't have any sisters growing up. I know the story of it. I can't say I ever watched it per se, but she herself is admitting she saw herself in Ariel when she was animated as white, but now she recognizes also how important it is that she shouldn't be white, because little black and brown girls need to see themselves in her, even though she could see themselves in her when she wasn't like that. Just make it make sense. I don't understand any of this. But anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to expose this hypocrisy. I'm sick of Disney doing all this race swapping. I don't think they're creatively bankrupt, but I guess they probably are, because they can't make any new original characters. They can't do any new stories anymore. They're just going to rehash everything they've done, which is really a shame. But yeah, leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more stuff like this. And if you don't, I really do appreciate you listening this long anyway, and I will see you all in the next one. Later.